Good morning again, Guyanese. Parroting again. Let's look at every single Guyanese and how successive People's Progressive Party civic budget would have benefited you. It is a PPP civic budget that removed more than 200 taxes from your lives that were imposed by the APNU AFC government. It was a PPP civic budget that removed VAT on electricity and water that was imposed by you on the APNU AFC government. It was a PPP civic that reduced the water rate that was increased under the APNU AFC government. It was a PPP who returned the Because We Care grant that was taken away from your children under the APNU AFC government. It was a PPPC that reversed land rental charges and increased DNI fees that was imposed upon you by the APNU AFC government. It is the PPP civic government that has consistently stood with the Guyanese people, whether it's the sugarcane farmers, the sugar workers, the rice farmers, the miners, the bauxite workers. You forgot what they did to bauxite. We lost more than almost 800 jobs under the APNU AFC government. We brought back almost 1,000 new jobs in bauxite. They took away all the jobs and closed down the call center in Region 10. It is the PP Civic that brought it back. So the parroting the political narrative, how does the budget benefit the ordinary people? Every single People's Progressive Party civic budget benefit the people because it is for the people. And let us look at budget 2026. The story of benefiting Guyanese and ordinary Guyanese continues. To say that the budget has nothing for the ordinary Guyanese is to ignore the measures that are clearly outlined in the budget speech. Either the opposition, either the parrots, did not read or listen carefully to the presentation by the Minister of Finance, or they're deliberately misleading our nation. They're exposing their agenda, and the agenda by the joint APNU AFC opposition embodied in the WIN formulation is to do exactly this. An entire section of the speech is dedicated to the various measures that will improve the disposable income and well-being of Guyanese, especially those who are vulnerable. To summarize the budget would take me all morning, but I just want to look at a few things. A summary of some of the provisions that would directly impact every segment of our population. First, we have an increase in the low-income mortgage ceiling. Who does this benefit? Low-income homeowners, middle-income homeowners, young professionals who can now borrow a loan at 30 million and have the same rate applied as low income. How does this not translate into benefit? When persons own their own homes, when you have the security of your own home, collateral that can be used to accelerate wealth creation. Of course, and housing improvement subsidy of $7.5 billion that will directly support the housing needs and home improvement of the vulnerable segment of our population. Reduction in VAT on various types of vehicles, making vehicle ownership easier. Why do you think an entire series is completed in 3 months now? Because we have made it easier for the ordinary family to own a vehicle. The reduction in VAT on various types of vehicles, various initiatives to ease the cost of living, including the maintenance of 0% excise tax on petroleum products. That alone will cost over $100 billion. The freight charges, the pre-pandemic level, That is billions of dollars of investment. When you look at the mortgage support program, that is billions of dollars that is going back to first-time homeowners. When you look at the increase in the Because We Care grant, billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars, going to who? The children of our country. The introduction of a new annual transportation grant for our children, almost $4.1 billion. When you add that to the Because We Care grant, it's close to $18 billion of transfer to our children. The continued support for the Caribbean Examination Council's exam. The government paying for your children's exams. Who benefits? Increase in old age pension. The increase alone would cost us about $5.7 billion. Plus the introduction of an annual transportation support grant to our old age pensioners. That is another $2 billion. The old age pension, and this would cost us more than $54 billion. That is $54 billion that will be transferred directly to the elders in our society. And then we have the elderly care home. Billions of dollars of support, co-investment opportunities. We have the increase in stipends for the pathway workers, the community enhancement workers, the community support services workers, the annual bonus that we give to our men and women in uniform, the increase in the stipend for community policing groups, the payment of the 100,000 cash grant. That alone is $60 billion of cash transfer to the people of this country. The removal of net property tax, giving up billions of dollars of revenue. The increase in income tax threshold that will put more money in our workers' pockets. These are measures that will cost hundreds of billions of dollars. And I'm not adding all the measures that we're going to continue that we started in 2020. Who benefits? It is the Guyanese people. So the parrots are parroting again without any understanding. And I do believe they have understanding of the truth and the reality. But it does not meet the music of the parrots, the agenda of the parrot, and the rhythm of the parrots. Let us be wary of this APNU-FC win formulation that seek to derail the development. Together, we are stronger. Your government is pleased to once again deliver a budget that will meet the aspirations and build on greater prosperity for every Guyanese. God bless you. Have a great day. Good morning once again.